Hello.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Together Out Loud. We're going to do our sound tests,
And I'm gonna eat a piece of cheese
and she's going to eat a piece of cheese.
because we literally just got back from a soccer game and we hopped right on here.
Check, check. Yep. And there we go.
That goes really fast.
Yeah, it does.
A lot.
So today we are going to be inviting random people up. So as you join, we will invite you up. We will talk to you a little bit, and we'll just bring up a prompt, maybe ask you a little bit about yourself. I think she's going to look up how to put like a sticker up so we know what a prompt is, so that we can ask a question and you guys can give us your opinions on it.
The AI wallpaper?
That's cool.
Oh, no. Sorry, guys. I'm not good at this.
Yeah, you are. She's more technologically advanced than I am. I'm not. She's more tech savvy. I don't pay attention to any of it.
It said something about a sticker, adding a sticker, but I don't know where you add a sticker at. Yes.
We're new to all this, guys.
Ah, here we go. Stickers.
There you go, and then you can like type a text in. Did we go to space?
Did we go to space? It's relevant because of the Artemis. Done. Okay. Can I make it bigger? I guess not.
I don't know. I guess not. So as soon as we see someone pop in, here we go. Invite you as a guest, whoever you are. Oh, it's Kathleen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll see if she joins in.
Oops. Okay, it's already sent.
Oops. She sent it again.
My bad. We really want you up here.
But we'll talk a little bit about, I guess we could talk about our opinions. What do you think? Do you think we really went to space?
I don't think we went to space because I don't believe space is real.
She thinks space is fake, guys.
Space is fake. And of course, I need to do more research so I can back up that statement. But I definitely don't think we went to space. We definitely did not go to space. Hi. What do you think?
No, I believe we did not go to space as well. There's a lot of evidence that we did not. One being, for example, I really don't think that Nixon called the moon from a landline when there are still places on this earth where you don't even get cell phone reception, but yet we're supposed to believe that, but yeah, we're supposed to believe that we went to space. So no, I do not think we did.
Yeah, and who videotaped them?
When the ship took off. Also when the ship.
Oh yeah, left. That's true. When the ship took off, who videotaped it? Where's that dude at?
There's a funny meme floating around, guys, where it's like a skeleton on the moon, and it's like, good news, guys, we found the guy who took the video of the what was it, Neil Armstrong, Apollo, whatever.
It wasn't 13, I know that because
it was the Apollo BS. So when the Apollo BS took off from the moon, they were like, great news, guys. We proved that we were on the moon. We found here's the guy, here's the skeleton of the dude who took the video when the Apollo BS was leaving the moon.
Yeah, and another question is, what was it? The flag that they put up on the moon
was waving
like
there was wind.
And there's no wind. There's no wind in space.
It's a vacuum.
So how do you explain that? And also Mars, the land rover did not land on Mars either. So that's a nice try too.
Yeah, I believe it's
somewhere in Canada.
Yeah, they have pictures of like Canada, and it's literally the exact images that you saw on the Mars Land Rover.
And at that time, we were in a race with Russia. So what's there to say that we didn't fake it? Just be like, hey, Russia, guess what? We landed on the moon.
We're going full tinfoil today.
We are going full tinfoil. I don't trust anything. Listen, first of all, read the book Chaos. I have to again see who wrote it because I forget. But that goes way down the rabbit hole regarding the CIA, regarding the
Did it work? I don't know if it invited them or not.
the race wars, regarding Charles Manson. It was all the CIA. And so we did not.
Yes, Dan. I tried to invite you up, but I don't know if it worked. But no, I do not believe so either. She actually made a really good point that solidified my belief in us not going to space. And she said to me, she was like, how comes every time you take a picture of Earth, there's no shadow? And I was like, wait, what? I was like, wait, what do you mean? And she was like, every picture of Earth, there's never a shadow on the picture. And I was like, well, why would there be a shadow? And she's like, okay, so the Earth is a sphere. And you mean to tell me that every time they take a picture, it's when the Earth is in complete direct sunlight. There's no shadow, like there's no like splinter like you see in the moon, or like a half shadow. Like every picture they've ever taken of Earth is in direct sunlight. And I was like, oh, that's a really good point. I never thought of that. And I've heard other people say, like, where's the shadow of the ship? So when they're taking the picture,
the shadow of the ship.
There's no shadow. I was reading the comment. I should read it from here. But
it says he's a long time watcher.
Yeah. But there's no shadow. There should be a shadow reflecting onto the Earth of the ship that they're in, taking a picture of it.
And it's just awfully convenient that this Artemis 2...
This is a fun conversation.
I know. This Artemis 2 happens to go... Well, first of all, it first said that they were going to go on the moon. They never did. They just circled around the moon, allegedly. It's really convenient that is happening at the same time as the Iran conflict and the Epstein files.
It's all a distraction.
Really interesting. And also, it's just another thing, like whoever actors that they got to perform this performance, they just have no idea what they're talking about. Some astronauts will say, oh yeah, we can see stars in space while others can't, and there's just like too much evidence to show
controversy.
There's too much evidence to show that they didn't. And my thing is, I just want to know, like, why would they lie about something like that? So how are they keeping all the people it would
invite them up? I don't know how to invite them up.
This quiet. It doesn't say. It doesn't show an invite.
Here we go. No. How do we invite?
That's a good question. How do you keep all of those people from keeping this fake, this quiet? Well, the government can make it disappear. Why? I mean, look how afraid people are to not pay their taxes. So why wouldn't you? Or they could pay them off. There's what they call, I forget, it's like black something, where they have hidden programs that our tax money goes to that nobody knows about. So of course they could pay people off to do it. And also Buzz Aldrin, he has already had interviews where he denounced it, said that we didn't go to the moon.
Yeah,
we didn't go to space.
Yeah, those are some of the funny ones when he's like, oh, because we weren't there.
Yeah, so I mean, you either...
my only question, I want to see what your opinion is, and maybe everybody who's watching, why would they hide it? That's the only thing I wonder about. Because I'm like, why would they fake this? Unless like it's just fake it to try to keep the whole round Earth conspiracy going?
Maybe. Dan says there is so much that is hidden that the fact that there are many that know there is no income tax law and keep lying to the people. Oh, and some comments are hidden to filter and protect. I don't know. Some comments are hidden too. So whoever commented and we're not responding, that's not because we don't want to. It's because TikTok is hiding your comments.
Oh, it's probably because they probably put something either vulgar or something that will get you canceled.
All right, Dan's gonna come up. Yeah, I don't know the answer as to why, but maybe like that. Maybe.
No, maybe. I will put it like this way. Hi.
Hi.
TikTok isn't letting my comments being showed. That's why.
Oh.
I see them from where they are, and with what you guys are talking about, I'm trying to type them. Then when you say that they're being hit, I'm like.
Is there someone outside? He's gonna check and see if someone's outside because the dog's barking.
So yeah, TikTok likes to do that.
How long have you had the cough?
Wrong pipe! Food wrong pipe!
Ah, okay. I've had a cough for like 4 weeks and I don't know what it is. It's weird. It's not a cold.
It's the catcher house.
It's the chemtrails.
Yeah, so Dan, you're probably speaking some truth in your comments, so that's why TikTok.
So they're
wants
like,
to
yeah, we
censor
can't have
you.
a post that. So what were you saying? Maybe try to use TikTok safe words.
Let me roll up my windows. Hold on. So the truth I was speaking, because they don't want to be let out, even though that Trump had put it out there initially, and a lot of people hate politics. I get it. Politics can be so sensitive that when you go and touch your skin and say, "Youch," like that. But where I'm going about with this is that 1912, back from 1870, America did not have any type of income tax whatsoever. We were actually bringing the tariffs. That's why they're so scared, because like I was just actually talking to a buddy of mine saying that, okay, if 150 countries can tariff us, why can't we tariff them? And then them putting down all that rule and whatnot. It's like the fact that we never had income tax and all these taxes have been hurting us. So that's where I was going with, because they don't want. I'm going to make this a good demonstration. It's like being handcuffed, being enslaved to a system, and keep on enslaving, and then have it so far and saying, like, please let us go. It's like that, because they just want to be able to put us on all these chains and keep on putting us in enslavement, and that's what it's all about. That, what we talked about from beforehand, and everything else that you've been bringing up too. So, to the space thing too as well, from the people who I've talked to as well, it is, I know it's a touchy subject, I want to also believe it too, and I want to say it's like fake too, but my wife, when I told her about it, she's like, honey, just take it. I'm like, I give up. I'm not even going to try to even bring this up. So, yeah,
I think maybe they're faking it to try to. Let's see if Dirt Merchant wants to join too. Did it send? Yeah. I think they're faking it to try to keep the whole round Earth conspiracy going, because we also she turned me into a flat earther, Dan. I'm now a flat earther. She did it.
How'd she manage to do that?
There's a lot of evidence that I was like, you know what, and I'm not saying I'm 100% a flat earther, I'm just saying that there's some evidence that could lead us to question whether the earth is round or not. Like pilots, for instance. Pilots, there are a lot of pilots that believe it's flat, because they say that the arch of the earth, when you're high up, you would be able to at some point see the arch, and they said you don't. It's all flat. Everywhere you look, it's flat. Like I remember when we went flying with Mike Keller here in Montoursville, and it was funny because he looked over at me and he was like, "You see that out there?" And I was like, "What? What am I looking at?" And he was like, "The horizon." And I said, "What about it?" And he was like, "It's flat. You see how it's flat?" And I was like, "Okay." And he was just like, "Oh, I just wanted to point that out." So he was like kind of like hinting at like it's flat. Everything's flat. So I don't know, but there's that. There was a really good experiment. You can look it up on YouTube. Anybody who's listening, and you as well, Dan, if you want to. I thought this one was pretty cool. It's two guys, and they're at a lake, and they have laser pointers. So they did the math to figure out the curvature of the Earth, and they went 21 miles away from each other. And at 21 miles, I think the curvature of the Earth is supposed to be at 21 miles, like a 4-foot difference. So they're going to shine laser pointers at each other. And there should be a 4.5-foot difference in where the laser pointers are touching. But there's not. They're both 21 miles away across this lake. And when they shine the laser pointers, they're at the exact same level. So that's another thing that they're using to point out that
I feel like the government has been lying to us on so many different things.
Yes.
Welcome.
And that's the reason why. I mean, of course, I don't have the evidence. I don't have all the answers. I'm not going to have all the answers. But that is the exact reason why I question everything. And maybe the reason why they want to continue this farce is because it's part of, here comes more tinfoil stuff, mind control. And it's to deceive everybody. Another that person in the chat, which we weren't able to invite that person up. For some reason, sometimes the invite button doesn't show up, but they asked, how do you get all of these people to continue this fake
We're so shadow banned.
thing? Probably. And it's because they could probably control your mind. It's been proven. The CIA has admitted, am I allowed to say CIA? The CIA has admitted that
They've done that.
MK Ultra, and allegedly they stopped doing this. This is another thing too. Like, you guys can believe that back in the 50s and 40s, 50s, 60s that they were doing these experiments and these unethical experiments, but suddenly they're gonna stop doing that. Suddenly the government's gonna be great, especially since we have more technology and tools at their hands that they could even do this even more efficiently now.
Yeah, they were willing. I see what she's saying. They were willing to do it then, but now we're supposed to believe that the government is good and righteous and won't do anything against
With that thing that you said, did we go to space? Are you able to move that up just a little bit? The thing in the little bubble that says,
Oops.
oh, there we go.
She deleted it.
Oopsies.
That's all right. She'll try to put it back up.
You can tell TikTok is for young people, and
But while she's doing this, how are you and the wife? How's everything going? Good. That's good to. It's good to see. Good to
We've
hear.
had some of our.
Yeah, that's our relationship. But yeah, so those are a couple of the things that why I believe that we didn't go to space and that the Earth is flat. Another really good one, I think, and I posted about this. So the Earth, we're supposed to believe that the sun is an orb in space that shines and illuminates. And I did like the one guy's response. He said, well, the reason that you can't see light in space is because there's nothing for the light to reflect. But I actually have another good question to that guy that I would like to ask him, and maybe you. Do you think stars exist? Here's the reason why I'm asking. Because if we go by what that guy said, which I agree with, like I was like, oh, I get that. So like if you walk outside and you have a flashlight and you shine it just straight at nighttime, obviously you can't see anything because there's nothing to reflect. You can't see the beam of light. But if you shine it on the ground, you can see where the beam of light lands. So how also are we supposed to believe stars are real? Are they actually real, and do they provide their own light? Or is it something out in space that is reflecting the sunlight from our sun?
I'm wondering because there's so many different things, because we've been told so many different lies from when we came in, and they don't want to stop their lies because they want to hide so much of the truth from us from all these different things, and all these talks are going on. So stars, I want to say it is, but at the same time too, when they say that we have a satellite that's way far into distant space as it is, and there's just so much talk and gray areas about so many different things, and I understand where you're coming from. So it's like, how much have we been lied to about things that they don't want to tell us the truth about? They want to keep us in a system where it's just how they want us to be in, and just completely doing the same type of routine. Because when you look at it, let's take this a step further. When we were growing up, taught us for a kid, and hey, whatnot, go to college, do this. Now, as we're figuring out, all these things have been lies to us, and now we're trying to figure out from what exactly is for the truth, and we're finding all these things. It's like, what then is the truth? Because we know the fact is that from space to stars to all this, and then, but we know the different the real things, the truth, as like for Christianity, we know that Jesus is our Savior, and so many different things that someone behind the scenes does not want us, and I'm sure that they're watching us as it is, because with all the AI and everything else going on, but they don't want us to know so much that's out there that if it were to all go on in public, everyone's going, or going all ballistic, however it may be going. It's like saying that, okay, I can't handle all this because there's going to be so much truth to this. And that's why, again, when T came into power and reversing everything that they did, because so many people have TDA and everything else, that all that's been being reversed. We're seeing a movie right now from all that's going on. But yeah, I'm going all over the board. So it's been just so many type of lies and to wake up people for masses to what's going on, because I believe once this illusionary system is over with, we're gonna see a lot of the truth that's gonna be coming out. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Yes, and it could be all a distraction to whatever's happening behind the scenes, whatever's actually happening.
Yeah, we never even
They-
really
they
know
want-
what's actually happening.
Right, they want to keep deceiving us, so we just continue to fall in line. And like, we got other people. It's been 50 years. That's another thing. How has it been 50 years since we've gone to space? When again, we have better technology now than we did back then, and conveniently, the technology that they used back then was somehow destroyed or lost. Same with like tapes and stuff, destroyed or lost. How convenient is that?
Do you think that Nixon called the moon? Do you think that really happened?
I've heard some stuff that we did not go to the moon. I've been hearing a lot.
Yes, yeah, I don't think we did either. And there's no, I 100% can say there's no way he called the moon. We can't even, there's places on Earth we still don't have cell phone reception.
Right.
But we're supposed to believe in what, when did they go? The 50s?
60s.
60s and the 60s that we
guess what
had enough
was
technology
happening?
to call the moon?
Guess what was happening?
Did
at
they
that
use
time?
the old cups and ropes? They just had a long enough rope that they could get the rope up there and the cups on each end and the vibrations.
But like the Cold War was happening, the race war with the war with Russia, and I mean what I mean by that is we were in the race to see who
Make
could
it to space
have-
first.
Yeah, and then
conquers
also
it?
the Vietnam War was
We
still
own
happening,
space now.
and we know that the Vietnam War was a huge disaster and a huge failure, and so
Can I add something?
yes.
This is where I think it all comes together. If we did not have the central banking system in place where they're deceiving us, we would not have been where we are at. Because they've been deceiving us, they've been lying to us. I can go even darker with the Titanic. Titanic was not
Go
the
ahead,
Titanic.
get into it.
Yep.
That was the Olympian. Oh, I'm sorry, TikTok. Oh, I'm sorry for spilling the truth. Oh, censor me.
It's okay. The last 2 lives that we've had was
Yeah, we've
restricted.
gotten flagged.
So the fact is that when they tried doing that, because the reason why they sunk the Titanic supposedly for the Olympian is so that way that they can get the people who did not agree with them on the boat to get rid of them and implement their system, deceive the people, put income tax into place, why so many people have to pay all this. It's like, let me give a demonstration as to what Dave from the X22 report had said, that when you have a business going on, I'm just going to use a complete example, like I can use maybe like Starbucks, or I can use like a Speedway because I'm at a Speedway. Let's say that Speedway has so many employees, X amount of employees as it is, and they say, okay, we're going to pay you, but then we're going to take some money back to be able to do all this. You can't initially keep on doing that because that's going to take away from that in order to be able to fund for what they're doing. It's just completely a cycle, and that's why when Trump came into place, that he's seen all the evil that's going around, the scandals that's going on, and with him trying to bring in the tariffs to be able to allow the people to get the money back into their own pockets. That's what they're scared of, because once things start going up, they'll know, for one, it has been the central bank the entire time that has hurt the people from all these generations and has snuck their way in like a slithering snake, getting into the system and destroying it, because the central bank hates tariffs and they like taxing the people, and either one system has to keep or the other one has to go. You can't keep tariffs and income tax. It's not compatible. That's another thing that people don't know about, is that if you keep income tax and just keep on taxing the people and then keep the tariffs, it's just not going to work. You have to get rid of one another. And that's why I had a conversation to a good buddy of mine that said that if you keep income tax and get rid of the tariff system, the system's going to fall apart. But if you bring in the tariffs as it is, then you start bringing so much more stuff as it is, and that's what they don't want. And in the first place, we never ever had to deal with a central banking system, because from 1817, America was beautiful and prospering. On top of that, too, is that Trump had said that, hey, before I lose my train of thought as it is, Trump, I'm sure, has seen everything from what the time was then from then to what now, because I'm sure with all the documents proving it, there's probably not really a whole lot of people that were alive to then that could tell us how great things were. Mm-hmm. And that's why we're trying to transition from all that. That's why we're trying to reverse that. There's so much junk, there's so much lies that are going on, and that's why I feel like they're trying to distract people. The central bank has a good hook, because they'd be like, hey, I want you guys to do all that, and just feeding money for deceiving people, and be like, oh, and just feeding billions. This is why Trump had called out for Jerome, saying that, hey, it doesn't cost this much money to be able to build a building for billions of dollars. He could have done for that. He's pointing out to the Fed because the Fed is grossly incompetent. Jay Powell is beyond grossly incompetent. If we never had the Federal Reserve, we would never have been into this type of situation. So many people want to fight Trump, call him names and everything else. Okay, if he's all these names, then why is it that if he never came into place, coming back to where he wanted to come into office, would America not be where it's at? No, America would be gone. America would be trash. America would be just middle finger. People would get their ways. Crime would be running by, rambling and everything else. But with everything that he's trying to do before what's about to come during the midterms, I'm sorry, I'm running all everywhere as it is, but he's trying to be able to get the right people in place, because once it all comes to place, I believe God's not done with Trump, even though that so many people hate him and whatnot, and all these things that go in correlation. Everything has a plan and reason, like I said from beforehand. Space, for that itself, there's just so many little rabbit holes we can go into.
Gamer's another listens often and watches often, so we'll see what they think as well if they end up joining. But yeah, and also, if I may ask, because I'm not 100% on this, but wasn't one of them supposed to be on the Titanic? Rothschild or Rockefeller? Wasn't one of them supposed to originally be on it?
Yeah, it was one of that, and it was part of it also was an insurance scam, just like 9/11 allegedly.
Just like Larry Silverstein. Have you ever heard about that? The Larry Silverstein, you should look into him. Yeah, it's can I say they who should not be named? Should I say that? Spell it out, Israel. Mm-hmm. They will go with they who shall not be named, but that's another reason why I believe they who shall not be named are responsible for that, because it's an awfully strange coincidence that Mr. Larry Silverstein, you know who he is just by the last name, ended up, what was it, like millions of dollars in
billions, I think,
in insurance, in an insurance policy on
that was the one day
the Trade Center 1 week before that happened, and that was the one day that he wasn't there. Mm-hmm. So I mean,
Pentagon moved trillions of dollars the day before because everything was so sneaky. So when you start adding all this up, something doesn't make sense, and all these different things are going on after, from the Titanic, 9/11, and so forth going on, because there's so many different lies. And again, I could start spewing for the truth as to things are going on, but then TikTok will be like, nope, we're gonna censor you, because TikTok doesn't bring the truth that's out there. It's like,
that's right.
Oh, fine. Does the truth hurt you? Well, that's the truth.
We're getting into some conspiracies, Bad Gamer. We have Bad Gamer, so if you want, you feel free to join in the chat or jump up here as well. Sorry, I wanted to also mention that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's ever going to be fixed. I don't know. The government's too big as it is now.
That's always been my main issue with the government, because, for instance, I actually just joined a debate while I was at work, and it was a couple guys who, and it's the same spiel I get every time. It's like, well, in order to stop this, you need to vote all Democrat. Like, no, that's not the answer either. And they're like, well, aren't you upset with the things that are happening? I'm like, yeah, but that's not going to fix it. Like, I don't support either party. And they're like, oh, well then then what are you going to do then? You're just not going to vote at all. It's like, I'm either going to not vote or I'm just going to vote third party. Because for one, these are my main goals. One, I don't want anybody with AIPAC. Nobody. If you are supported by AIPAC, I don't want to vote for you at all. Because if you vote for people who are influenced by a foreign country, then you're going to have things done in your country that benefit a foreign country. Mm-hmm. Not to say that we shouldn't have allies, but I am at a point in my life where we should be more focused on our country and the problems here, rather than, sometimes I think that things are done just to distract from the things that are wrong with our country. Yeah. Like, oh, instead of worrying about gas prices, how about we worry about the conflicts over in the Middle East? Like, no. Let's worry about our people first and let whatever's going on over there happen. And once we get things sorted out here, then by all means, you can start jumping in and helping whoever you want to help. And I don't know. That's the tough part. But they just kept going back to that. And then the one guy kept saying, well, Trump never ran on releasing the Epstein files. And I was like, yes, he did. He 100% did. And he was like, well, where can you find that? And I did a simple Google search, and I found like 5 different times that Trump was like, yeah, I'm going to release the Epstein files if I become president. Yes, I plan on releasing the Epstein files. And it's like 5 times. And he was like, well, he kind of doubled back on that. And I was like, no, he didn't. Not until after he was already elected. Before that, he never doubled back. But then after he was elected, he was like, oh, it's a Democratic hoax. So that's where I was like, wait, what is happening? I feel completely gaslit. But I don't know, as far as like the tariffs, I believed in the tariffs. And I remember debating people on the tariffs because they weren't understanding what I was trying to say is, in order to be, in order to be a competent and a competitive country, you need to produce goods and produce something. And they kept arguing, well, we produce technology. I understand that, but you still need to have other markets, or you're going to eventually be a failing country. So for instance, if we're paying these huge tariffs on every other country because we don't make a lot of stuff, that's going to break us. That's not making our country better by buying from other countries. It's the opposite. That's making their countries better because they're the ones getting the money and they're the ones getting the value. So I felt like the tariffs would bring manufacturing back to America, which I don't know. A lot of people were like, we don't need manufacturing. Like, yeah, we do. What was it? There was a YouTube video I saw that said that 93% of our prescription medications are made in China. That's insane to me. We were putting our complete trust and vital life supply in another country. That's crazy. When I found that out, I couldn't even believe that was a reality, because I'm like, imagine this. Imagine if China just, I'll let you have it after this, but imagine this. Imagine if China one day was just like, you know what? We want to have a conflict because we can't say the W word. We want to have a conflict with America. They wouldn't even have to get feet on the ground. They could literally just tamper with medications, and I would assume unalive.
Yeah.
Millions of people.
Yeah.
Millions. Because imagine how many people are on life-saving medications that they need. So go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say.
All of it is because
Okay.
and for it all, they want control. They don't want to lose control because it's a fight to the end. The elites, the people who are up in the classes, it is when Trump came in pass, trying to change the entire system as it is, and it's hurt people in so many different ways. I've seen it. People struggling, people being on for the roads and everything else. I'm going to make a good point. If this was Trump's fault, if it was really Trump's fault, then why has all this, even before Trump got in office and before that, why has all this crazy junk and everything else that's been going on nothing's going on? It's all about greed. Trump hasn't taken a dime because they want to enrich themselves, stay in control, and just to keep everybody and keeping up with the Joneses, keeping up and making this as the norm. It isn't. There were so many lies, and that's why a lot of people are waking up to really what's going on, really critically thinking, because this is why America's hurting. Because if it was Trump's fault, then America would be a lot worse. It isn't, because he's trying to do his promises, but we have, again, turning back to the central bank and all these things, and then what you're saying, that if China wanted to, they could be able to wipe us out. But that's where I believe that when he was back in his first term, he wrote a letter to Xi and working with all these other different leaders behind the scenes, which we don't hear of, and trying to make things happen and bring everything back to America. Because when they shipped out all the manufacturers to America, this is why we have prices so being high. I could go on a really high tangent. Illegal immigration, people coming to the border, Biden, Obama, so on and so on, bringing them in.
Well, right now the Strait of Hormuz too. The Strait of Hormuz is a distant disaster.
Yeah.
Whatnot. And the reason why for Strait of Hormuz is because he's trying to be able to get people to see, hey, whatnot, get others saying that, hey, this is not our war, since all that's clearing up. But I believe there's a plan for all this all. We don't initially know everything that's going on, but maybe one day, because everybody wants to blame it on Trump, but I don't think he's an initial problem to it. But I believe it's past presidents which had made the falter from what they've done to wrecking this country. When Trump came into power, for being not as a king. For those who watch this, Trump isn't a king. He has said it for himself. He's a president. So saying that, oh, because you have Pelosi, you have Schumer, you have all these other people who have been in office for so long. So he's trying to fix from what they have put into place. It's a good demonstration, because if we kept them in place, let me ask you too, do you think that America would be around if Trump had never ran for office? I know that's a hard topic. It's like a punch to the face.
My honest opinion of it, and then I'm going to let you go with, because she has comments to make, but my honest opinion of it, this is just my belief now, I think it would have been the same. That's really, I think I've come to the conclusion that we're just being duped, and some of it is just creative drama. And if to explain that, what I mean is, like, I feel like if Kamala had been elected instead of Trump, I feel like the same things would have happened. I feel like there are people that we are blindly loyal to, and we're like, no matter what, we have to help them because that's blind loyalty. And that, I think, comes along with the greed. It's like, well, they're paying us, Congress, so because they're giving us these millions of dollars, we need to make sure that we're making happen what they want to happen. That's just my honest opinion right now. I mean, that might change, but I just genuinely believe that a lot of it is puppet theater, and just like
a movie.
Just like a movie. Yep, and just like wait, before you start to hate on me, what about all of this stuff out here? Or, what about all that stuff over there? I think sometimes they just purposely go, let's go distraction first. That way they're not paying attention. Two things. That way, one, they're not paying attention to the things that really matter. And two, that way they divide from each other. Mm-hmm. Because I think that the government also knows well enough that if we team up together and we find, I think America has gone too far from the most important things that matter, especially when you have elites at the top victimizing children and getting away with it. And yes, and money as well. And I feel like, because that to me is the first thing that should be stopped. Children shouldn't be victimized at all. And the whole Pam Bondi thing when she was like, but the Dow's over 50,000. That's just the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. I don't care what the Dow's at. I don't care if you have to completely tear the entire system to the ground, if that's what it takes to not victimize children. Then when we get that solved, then we can worry about money, gas prices, whatever, for foreign wars. But but the problem is we've gotten so divided with the smaller things. Like when I look on the internet, for instance, it's a small fringe group that doesn't want, it's a very fringe group that is like, wants the Epstein file released, Epstein, and wants that taken care of first. And I think that it could be a bigger group, but I think the reason that it's such a small fringe group is because everybody just cares about so many other weird things. I mean, there are still people who are debating the A word, AABORTION. There are still people debating that. Like, that's something we can worry about later. Don't get me wrong, I am completely against it. I'm an abolitionist, but that's not so high at the top of my list that I would be like, this is above all else, if that makes sense. And I think that a lot of America is worrying about these weird fringe movements. What were you going to say?
A couple of things, going back to you saying that the people who are in government who are being backed by AIPAC, I agree with you. Wouldn't they want America to help other countries because they genuinely care and want to help other countries rather than being paid off to do so or being blackmailed to do so? Like, I would be all for helping other nations if it was honest. If
you felt you could trust it.
Yes. If there was no ulterior motives to it. Secondly, the media is the biggest enemy of America. The media is the biggest enemy in America. So you have, the media, you have the media saying stuff about Trump. You have the media saying stuff about the left, about commentators, all that, and you have no clue what to believe.
It's done by design to divide.
Yep. And that's another thing. It's not, yes, I agree when you say Trump said that he's not king. You're right. The president does not have that much power in all reality. It's Congress, and nobody is going to put in term limits.
I didn't like when he published himself as Jesus.
Me neither. But what I'm saying is, I don't think he's smart. Honestly, I don't think he's intelligent enough to be in the position that he is at, and I think he's compromised. And whether he's compromised by our own government or compromised by a foreign agent, he is compromised in some capacity. And I think he is not as intelligent as he should be being in the position that he's in.
And I might even give him the benefit, if I may chime in quick, I might even give him the benefit of the doubt here, because I was just watching Theo talk to, I can't remember who he was talking to about it, but this is Theo's opinion, and I kind of agree with him. I think that Trump is at a point where it's like, this is my second term, I can't run again. Oh well. That's what I genuinely think. Yeah. Like, I'm like, I think right now he's just like, roll the dice and let it land where it may. And it's tough. I don't know. But that's it's tough. It's tough, like, to trust. Yeah. To trust the plan. I mean, like, we put our trust in the Lord, but you also want to do something about it. You don't want to just stand by and hope that everybody has our best interests in mind.
Well, and also the goal keeps being moved. Like, when it comes, back in 2016, 2020, we were to believe that he's like 10 steps ahead, and it's like the goal keeps getting further and further away. So, like, when is it going to happen? That
I'm gonna drop a fresh conspiracy here.
Oh yeah.
Here's a fresh conspiracy. Maybe it's not even Trump. Okay. Listen, now hear me out. Listen, this is just an idea. It's just an idea of a conspiracy. Hear me out. And the reason I say that is because to me...
Is this one you heard or one you...
No, this is one I just came up with in my head. Because to me, sometimes when I look at him, I feel like the 2016 run of Trump is a completely different person than the 2020 run of Trump. Or, sorry, the 2024 run of Trump. So I don't know. That's just an idea. And I say that because, like, he was all about peace back then. He was all about ending wars, no conflict, sorry. And like how you say about the centralized banking system, back then he was 100% like against that, and now it almost seems like he's for it. Like, instead of, just as an example, instead of putting caps on interest rates like he said he was going to do, he instead extended mortgage loans to 50 years, which is going to make you pay even more money. So actually, instead of making it better, he actually made it worse and damaged it more. So that's what makes me wonder, like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, maybe that's how he's compromised. They found a double and they got him locked up somewhere and he needs saved. And this is just a double that's really good at impersonating him. But go ahead.
So I want to add something. To all this. Because I see where you two are going. Some of the information I listen to, it helps to be able to get through from what's going to be going on. Do you two like listening to podcasts?
Yeah. Like I said, I listen to a lot of Theo.
When I have time.
Rumble, X22 Report.
X22 report.
Is that on Spotify too or no?
Rumble.
Okay.
Right,
It's good. It will get deep. It will get really deep. Because he told me.
Yeah, and that's what I would like, is I would like to know, like, what's the answer at the end of the rainbow? Like, because, I mean, I still do, my algorithm's kind of mixed with a mixture of, like, everything's bad, everything's terrible, and everything's awful. And then there's another mix of, like, just let Trump take his time, and eventually he's going to work this all out and stuff like that. But I don't know, like, it's hard for me to trust because I don't know what the end goal is, but like from the view of where we're at now, it's hard for me to put any trust into someone who especially like gaslit me and made me think like the Epstein files would be released, people would be charged, people would be going to jail, and then to turn around and be like, oh, you're wrong, like all of that's just a farce and it's made up by the Democrats, and we should allow people to continue victimizing children.
Well, and another thing the other thing that I would like to see is whoever takes his place in the 2028 election, I really truly want somebody who's going to be a person who really wants to bring the left and the right together.
Yes.
Like
and wants to care about us.
Yes, I think that is a huge problem. That is a huge issue. And somebody who has surprised me is Fetterman, who is a congressman from our state, from Pennsylvania, and he's a Democrat, but a lot of times he is not for the extreme left. He is not for the extreme left. He admits the faults of his party, and he really does want to work down the middle, and I really think that's how it should be. Need. And I don't know somewhere in history how it turned so extreme, because there's extreme right wingers too.
Yeah.
And both sides are quick to call you names if you disagree with something that's not that they believe in, or disagree with something that's happening right now, and it's sad. And I think that's part of the plan of like the media and the government. They want to keep us divided because when we're together, we're stronger.
Yeah, we voted for Trump, and I'll even have conversations with other people on here that also have voted for Trump, but they still support him so wholeheartedly. Okay, so some of them have such a blind loyalty for Trump that like anything that we say, they can't even comprehend it, because it's almost like he's a savior. That's the weird thing to me, is like sometimes like I'm like, no, listen, I'm not trying to paint Trump up as the bad guy. I voted for him.
Yeah.
I voted for him all 3 times. What I'm trying to say is like, I genuinely am allowed to be concerned and upset over the fact that like there are things that he ran on in his. This messed up. Sorry. There are things that he ran on, policies that he ran on in his campaign that he didn't fulfill, and that he now also has no plan on fulfilling. And not only has no plan on fulfilling, but is saying like it's my fault because I believe that he was going to release the Epstein files. I don't know.
I just believe there's things that we don't comprehend since we're not at government level, that we don't know from what's going on. I believe Trump has seen and knows everything else. That's why I believe that he has went on the different talking points. He's let other things go, because since he knows what he's doing and he's grand master of everything else, whatnot. I know we're not going to agree upon for everything else, but I'm trusting God that since he had brought Trump into place, and with all these things going to pass, that to allow God to be able to work on Trump as it is. Because if we knew everything from what he knows, I think it would just make us sick to our stomach, and we wouldn't be able to sleep or anything else like that. His initial fact of what he's going at, because when you guys had talked about for the 50-year mortgage and everything else, so I want to bring something up, and when he talks about that, he's not talking about that as us being in this type of system, because this is the central banking illusionary system. He's working within it, because once they're done and out of the picture, I believe initially, because we're seeing the different things taking place for what Trump is doing, but we have not yet seen his economy yet. We've not seen like
Yeah.
the initial things take off, and that's why I believe that with the central bank having that hold, losing grip, and when his parallel economy comes up in place with like digital currencies like cryptocurrencies and everything else to be able to move money, I believe that's when we will see for his type of economy when people are saying, oh, he's the antichrist, he's going to do this, he's going to do this, because they don't want to give him a chance. And it's like, okay, if we were to know all that information, I think our heads would turn and be like, okay, we don't want to know all this or whatnot. There's a broader thing, and I believe Trump knows that he has to be careful and knows what to be able to give for the public as it is, what Dave from the X22 report had said, and is trying to, it's like weaving in and out of the central banking system in order to be able to keep them blinded, so that he's building up their system, and once his system goes online, be like, gotcha. System goes on, they try to do something stupid, and then all of a sudden we pull away from it, and they try to either raise interest rates or whatever they try to do, and I believe it will be them in the ending where it's all going to be able to fall apart. Then people are going to see from what Trump's true economy will look like, because I don't think it's really come online entirely fully yet. That's why you have all these new news outlets pouncing on him and saying that, hey, he's this or whatnot. It's like, I believe God has his hand on this country. We may not know the evidence thereof. I don't even know for all things. I know bits and pieces of information here and there that have gone on, and I don't have all the answers. I only know so much, and that's why I shouted out for the X22 report off of Rumble, and another channel too is called And We Know. You might want to take that down too, And We Know, because they put out a lot of information that's out there, and it's really awesome. But
now, a lot of these people, are these just people that are like analyzing the things that he's doing and they think that this is where he's going with it? Because I can respect your opinion and respect that you're kind of just putting your trust into hoping that, because I take from what you just said that the 50-year mortgages will work better in his economy that he creates rather than the central banking economy. So are these people that you're recommending, are they just people that like analyze the moves that he's making and the things that he's doing, and it looks like this is where he's headed with it?
So initially too is what the X22 report has done is that they've I've been listening to them for years on end when everything was stolen, and way before that, everything that he's been speaking of, everything has been coming into place. Some things have been delayed, but all what Dave from the X22 report has been saying, it has been coming to pass. And what And We Know has been saying, it's been happening. It's been happening. And even though that we might not be seeing it, it's been happening, because when you go and digest it, take a little bit of calm briefing and understanding everything from out there, whatnot. Oh yeah, it's been going on. So
my two concerns with the cryptocurrency is, one, the government is going to get their hands involved in it somehow. Yeah. They already are trying to do that. And two, it seems like it would make it easier for a central banking system to happen, and everything goes digital, and they can see everything that you're doing, control everything you're doing. So you get a social score, much like China. Or am I allowed to say China? I don't know what I'm allowed to say on TikTok. Much like China. So if we're getting restricted on TikTok, they can freeze our accounts or what have you. So those are my two concerns regarding that. I mean, I'm hoping you're correct in how it'll be better, and it'll get rid of the Federal Reserve and all that. Like, that is something that I hope for, and I'm usually an optimistic person. But because of the fact that the government has done so many things and hid so many things and faked so many things, I just don't trust any of it, even if Trump's intentions are genuine, because that could be that his intentions are very genuine, because he's a businessman. So maybe his business mind is thinking that this is going to be a success, and he's hoping that this is going to be
Like maybe it's got to be a little tough before it gets back.
Yes, and that I think that too.
The only way forward, as they've said, is the military, because with everything being so corrupt, the only way forward is the military. Let me get you to think on this. Do you remember when Trump got into office and the military was behind him? Do you remember when he said he's giving the power back to the people?
Mm-hmm.
That's where it started. This is Trump's third term. Trump never left office. He never left office.
What do you mean, even with Joe Biden?
Joe Biden's been gone. Joe Biden's been... Okay. Joe Biden is at Arlington Cemetery, 2018. Obituary.
Oh, another conspiracy. So,
Yes.
so they put somebody in his place, but you said so. You think Trump was running the show then as well?
Okay, so if that's the case, then how do people explain how awful it was when Biden was in office? Like how did they turn that into?
And I wanted to
positive?
rewind a moment. You just to comment on what she said. You do have a reason to be concerned though, because with the cryptocurrency, and if they get their hands on it, it's kind of similar to like look what happened in Canada with the truckers.
Yeah.
With the truckers protest, and they started freezing bank accounts, because that does worry me too. Because eventually, like, okay, so the scariest thing about government is them getting complete control, and then if you or I or anybody said something that they don't want to hear, like, no, we don't want to hear any of that. The same way we can be censored on here, we can be flagged, we can be shadow banned. The same way that can happen, they could be like, nope, freeze their bank accounts. That's similar to Elon Musk, who I liked, and I wanted Doge to work out. That's another promise they made, but just marking off promises that they don't keep. But Doge, I wanted that to work out. That's another thing that scared me about him, because as much as I trust Elon Musk, I also don't like the fact that they can shut a Tesla down whenever they want through satellite. They can shut your Tesla right off. And I was like, see, I don't know, man. It's tough. I don't like anybody having that much control
I get it because
over anybody.
I get it because there's so many different things going around, and when the pieces are put together, why I'm so calm about this is because even though that God is in control, and I know that there's a person who I know who's gone down the rabbit trail so far down it, and things that I've seen that if you two were to see as what I've seen and for what they've shown me, you guys would you two would have a hard time sleeping as it is. And it's amazing by the grace of God that I said, because again, with the things I've seen for one of the sites that they show me, I'm like, I had a hard time just taking it on. It was just, it would make your stomach turn and everything else. And there's so much more deeper things as
Yeah, we've seen some deep ones. We saw like Frazzle Drip. I'm sure you've seen that one.
Not.
Oh, you got to look that one up. That's a good one. That's the, it was a file on, are we allowed to talk about this? It's a Fillery on HRC. It was a file on Anthony Weiner's laptop for insurance, and it's called Frazzle Drip. And it's allegedly, well, not even allegedly, because you can find the video. But see, the video doesn't really show anything in detail, but you can hear a child screaming and stuff. But allegedly, somebody's face was cut off, removed, and HRC like wore it. That's Frazzle Drip. Well, that's a good one to look into.
That's initially where I was going at, because on the site they have
We're gonna get shadow banned for this.
Where kids' bodies are just doesn't look like a body no more, and wearing things, drinking the BLD, whatnot. Things go so deep as it is with the Haunted Pizzagate. This is why when you had initially said that, hey, with all this initially going on, yeah, it's Wizard Oz. Let's put it this way: we should not be on the red brick road. We should be on the yellow brick road for success. They took us on the red broken road, making us work, die, shutting us off, and having it where they're putting all this stuff in our foods. So Razzle Drip with all that, taking the children, so where they
vaccines.
Yeah.
I mean, V words.
Yeah, I know what you're talking. I know what you're talking about. I've seen a lot of that type of stuff, and that's why I said the military is the only way forward. Nothing can stop what's going on. Nothing.
I hope so. Yeah. I mean, I've gone pretty deep into it. I've seen a lot of this stuff. But that's like Sound of Freedom. That's one of the things that made me so sad is that America is the number one purchaser, not seller, the number one purchaser of corn, child sex trafficking, adult sex trafficking. Like that kind of makes me sick that we are the country that's supposed to be leading in freedom and leading in morals and leading in ethics. But instead, that movie proves that we are the country that is leading in these vile acts on children and vile acts on people. And like, I don't know. I want all of that to end and stop.
It gets deep, and I definitely get and understand because when it goes down that road, it goes into child trafficking and where they've done all these things to children and whatnot. There's been so many different things I've seen. This podcast could go on for a long while if we're talking about all these topics because it all comes together. It's like the movie it's like the movie series that's called Manifest. That was a really good one too, but it's all connected. It's all connected. That's what the little boy said. It's all connected with everything that's going on. I believe this entire thing is a huge connection for the Jeffrey Epstein or however JP JE or however you.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because we don't even know if we're allowed to say his name.
Right. So even going further, I believe he's still.
Me too. Yep.
And I believe for what they put out for on TikTok for that post of saying that's something Peter whatnot, I'm not falling for these things. No, these things I'm not falling for because I believe they're trying to cover up so much, but I don't want to get on tangent to getting so far as it is. I'm sure you guys know, I'm sure we both know the same for a lot of things that are going on and could initially take this far, but I can't say I'm very much longer. Gotta get back to work as it is. I had a good time talking. We can go.
Me too.
No, yeah, we
Always
appreciate
a
it. Thank you for getting on and sharing some of your conspiracies as well. We always enjoy it, especially. But see, this is the thing, man. Obviously, keep your faith and trust in Jesus. That's the number one thing. Anybody who's watching, anybody who's listening, that's the number one thing you can do is keep your faith and trust in Jesus. But I also think keep an open mind and approach everything you see and hear with not only but a little bit like balance the hesitancy with the trust and with your own research to try to figure out what the real truth is, because it's very easy to control us. And I think if you stay open-minded and think to yourself, that's why we wanted to start this off with like, did we go to space? Is Earth flat? Is because like, even if we're wrong, there's a benefit in at least questioning it, question everything. But go ahead.
One more thing I'm going to believe you guys, because I know this is like a conspiracy too. I'm going to draw all the way back to 9/11, Twin Towers itself. Blue Beam Project.
Oh, is that the laser?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They put a powder on the thing. Melted the beams.
Yep.
Yeah, we were just actually the guy who does our tattoos. He was just telling us we didn't know this, but did you know there's a mall underground there now too?
Under where the Twin Towers
Under where
were.
the Twin Towers were. Yep. He was like, it was the weirdest thing because that's actually another part of the conspiracy. They think that they wanted that to go down because this mall, which is also JEW owned, they wanted that mall there. They wanted to make money off of it. So that's another part of the conspiracy of like why they wanted to get rid of it. He was like, yeah, dude, it's really super weird. It's this massive underground mall, which I was like, I've never been there. And he was like, you should go and check it out and see it. That's
All
kind of
these
crazy.
interesting things. I believe all these will be having be topics for later, but I definitely don't want to be able to be on here too much longer as it is. Glad I'm getting these things out because there's much more that I know, but time is of the essence and everything else. Glad to be friends with both you two. And
Us as well. It is a blessing to have you as a friend.
just put so much out there. But hey, you guys take care. Love you guys in Christ. And stay strong. And I look forward to seeing you guys until next time.
You too. God bless.
Man. Thank you.
Yep. Bye-bye.
And with that, because we're past our allotted time,
Yeah,
I was hoping we'd be able to get some other guests up here. But a lot of people we were inviting, they just weren't coming up because I was hitting invite to see if we could get some other people's opinions. But again, we're going to continue to grow this podcast, guys. And if you come in, you're more than welcome to join us and more than welcome to have a conversation. But we will go over what we're going to discuss next week.
Yeah, what are we going to discuss?
This one's weekly segments. Do you want to start breaking it down into weekly segments?
Yeah,
School
I mean,
news,
I
technology
think
changes, stuff like that.
I like this health trend stuff because we're into all that.
So we could circle health trends.
Yeah,
because
health
I'm not
trends.
really into new studies. I'm not really into technology changes
No,
either.
me
Maybe we
either.
could do
Health trends and maybe
pop culture,
pop culture. Yeah, so maybe we can bring something
a movie,
that's in
like
the
a
new-
movie that we recently saw or something. I mean, we could start this off with if you guys haven't watched Undertone, we just watched that last night. It was mid. It was a mid movie. But yeah, I'd like to start throwing that stuff in there because pop culture, I love pop culture. Lifestyle housing updates, yeah, we don't really need any of that either.
We're good with that.
Here's what this means for real families. You want some
Listen.
housing updates? 50-year mortgages
Housing updates. The interest rates aren't going down. The house prices are going up.
and
One of-
50-year mortgages.
Yes, one of them has to go down. Otherwise, you're never going to own a house. But I mean, there's pros and cons because we just had to get a new water heater, and then we just had to pay an electrician to do 5-minute work. So
Oh, and then this also, there's like trending topics, but from a logical, balanced, non-doomsday, even though. So it's so hard to not be non-doomsday
We're
anymore.
like hoping for a doomsday
Because we're super optimistic, and as you could see, like even if you were listening or watching when we were having our conversation with Dan, like we are generally pretty optimistic, and just like Dan, we also voted for Trump, but Dan is on a different side as us. But as you can see, we still love each other in Christ, and we still can have a patient conversation with each other because I can't say that way. Mature. Thank you. I can't say that his opinions or his views or the things that he believes are wrong because 5 years from now maybe he's right. Maybe Trump comes out with this great economy and I'm like, man, you know what? That's really good that people kept their trust and faith in him. But like all we go off is like our view of the things that are happening now and what we're seeing take place.
And two things I want to say about that. I completely agree that it does take some time to turn things around. It does take some time. I agree with that, and maybe I need to have more faith and patience with that. But number two, in my opinion, Trump's approach is all wrong because he's just dividing people even more.
Yeah, and also like my main thing is as much as you can trust him, the reason I choose not to is because I would, but you threw half your base away when you were like, no, that's a Democratic hoax. I never said I was going to release the Easting file, even though you can Google it and find that he did say that. So
and also
that causes me not to trust you.
Yeah, and anybody who disagrees with him, he just insults.
Attacks, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson.
And that's what people do all over social media too. And it's sad.
That's not what we need.
That's not what we need, and that's not a good role model for anybody.
And Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson and the Hodge twins and who else?
Megyn Kelly.
Like they're not all losers. They all have an opinion as well, and they all want answers, and they all are competent to ask valuable questions that should be asked. And instead of acting like a child and being offended by it, you should answer those questions or to the best of your ability. Yep. Or even if you don't answer it and just say, listen,
I don't know.
There are some things going on behind the scenes that you guys don't understand. So just trust me and just be patient. That would be a great answer. Like I'd be like, okay. But he doesn't. He goes, oh, you should never listen to these guys. They suck and they're the worst. Blah, blah, blah.
Uglier than the...
And they're uglier than the
First Lady of France.
Dude in France. The first dude in France, which I don't care because I think that's a man.
The first bro. But thank you for joining us. We hope you have a good rest of the weekend. Jesus
and as always,